Welcome back to R for Economics. In this one, we're going to look at the Tobit regression. We're going to be using two different packages, VGAM and SenseReg. Both do very similar things, and the estimation is very similar as well, but there are different options. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is install the packages. And we wait, and VGAM is now installed, and it had these other things that it need to bring in for the library. And now let's install SenseReg and run the library. Now, with these two comes data sets. So there's a data set on the entrance or aptitude of students. And here we can see what the Tobit regression is doing. We can see that it's top coded to be 0, that we get a lot of observations, top coded at 800. So there are a lot of observations. There's a pileup of probability at 800. So the aptitude as it goes up ends up here. And if we look at the other one, the AER, this is talking about the number of affairs of individuals in Washington, and it's examining a number of different characteristics. Now, if we look at the histogram for that, we can see that a lot of people have coded 0. So they haven't had an affair. Now, you can also see that this is quite a bit of pileup at this far one. We can see that the median is 0, the mean is 0. So we want to see if this 0 is actually a 0 or if it's been censored in some way. So people self-censoring when they do it. Now, if we want to censor from the right, for this one, you give it the equation. You tell it it's a Tobit regression, the upper, and tell it what the upper is 800, and then the data file. And then for the SenseReg, same thing again. You just have to use the term right is equal to, and then the data set. And we ask, well, how different are these things? Well, the estimates are very similar, 209, 269 for the read, and so on. So the censoring from the right or upper is the same. But we can see there's a little bit of difference here where we're describing log sigma is our Tobit adjustment, and the intercept 2 here is our Tobit adjustment. So it just depends on what you're looking for, whether you're looking for some other additional statistics, and one might give different statistics than the other one. Now, what about censoring from the left? Well, that's our other data set where we're looking at the number of affairs. And we result from below. We just have to tell it that the lower is 0. We can get the results with our intercept 2 being our Tobit adjustment. And then SenseReg, same thing again. And it defaults to the lower bound being 0. So it assumes that 0 is the boundary case that you're looking for. So it's centered at 0. You can give it less than 0. So if there was a censoring at minus 200, you just tell it minus 200 left, minus 200 for the SenseReg. And then we ask, well, how different are these regressions? Well, they're identical, right? So 817, 8.17, log sigma 210, 2.10. So these things are the same kind of regressions, okay? Now the question is, well, what happens if we ignored this and ignored the censoring and just used the pileup and just estimated everything with a linear model? So a linear model from above, and we compare that to our result 1 because we know that both estimators are the same. And we can see that there is a difference between the intercept and, well, some of the other things are fairly similar, the reading and the vocation. So in some data sets, a linear model is a good approximation. But what about the from below? So here's the affairs data. And here, while our inference didn't actually change, we can tell that our values have changed quite a bit. We've gone from age being minus 0.05 to age being 0.17. More significantly is religiousness. It's now minus 1.68 for the Tobit, and then minus 0.47 for the linear model. So we can see that the bias is affecting it there. So that's the Tobit model, and how to estimate it and how to compare it to maybe a linear model or even other types of models. Okay, great, and have a great day. I'll see you in the next videos.